The last unexplored places on Earth that will shock you. Number 1. Yucatan Cenotes, Mexico. A cenote is a sinkhole or a natural pit, resulting from the collapse of limestone bedrock that exposes the groundwater. The most common types of cenotes are cave, semi-open and open cenotes. There are over 6,000 different cenotes in Mexico. It's very difficult to know the exact number of cenotes hidden in the remote Mexican jungle, which is inaccessible. Some of the cenotes in Mexico have been turned into swimming holes and used for scuba diving centers to attract tourists. A lot of them are interconnected, because the rock is very porous. It's the largest underground river network on the planet. Number 2. Amazon rainforest. Amazon rainforest is huge, covering 9 nations, of which some are swamp, which are very hard to traverse through. The extremely dense landscape of the Amazon rainforest is home to some of the world's most deadly animals, including anacondas, caimans, piranhas, Brazilian wandering spiders, aggressive ants, among others. The incessant rain all year round causes heavy flooding and extreme currents along the river, making inhabiting and exploring the region incredibly difficult and dangerous. Number 3. Greenland. Greenland is the world's largest island, covering an area of 8 million square miles, with a population of just 56,000. 80% of Greenland is covered in ice. The ice is incredibly thick, some as much as 3,200 meters, making it one of the unexplored places on Earth. Greenland has its own extensive local government, but it is also part of the Kingdom of Denmark. There are no roads or railway system to travel between towns, though there are roads within the towns. All travel between towns is done by boat, snowmobile, dog sled, or airplanes. Number 4. Tsingy de Bemaraha National Park, Madagascar. The Tsingy National Park is characterized by needle-shaped limestone formations, above cliffs, over the Manambolo River. It is very difficult and dangerous to traverse over these incredibly sharp limestone formations. This forest of sharp stones with high limestone pinnacles rises up to a height of 100 meters. The Tsingy de Bemaraha in western Madagascar is the largest of such formations, covering an area of 85,000 hectares in size. Much of the area beyond the national park boundaries is still unexplored because of the difficult terrain, harboring unknown species. Every new scientific expedition always brings about new discoveries. Number 5. Vale do Javari, Brazil. The Javari Valley indigenous territory in western Brazil, covering an area of around 31,000 square miles, has the greatest concentration of the uncontacted human groups on Earth, amounting to at least 11 groups. The remote location of Javari Valley and the ferocious reputation of its inhabitants left the region relatively untouched. The uncontacted tribes live in some 19 known villages identified by air. The Brazilian government has made it illegal for non-indigenous people to enter the territory. The area is observed by the government from the air. Number 6. Namib Desert, Namibia. Namib Desert is one of the oldest and largest deserts, which stretches inland from the Atlantic Ocean, covering large area of Namibia and parts of Angola and South Africa. Namib means vast place. Temperatures can reach as high as 60 degrees Celsius during the day and below 0 degrees Celsius at night. Some areas receive less than 10 millimeters of rain each year, which makes it unsuitable for human habitation. The Namib Desert is almost completely uninhabited by humans except for several small settlements and indigenous pastoral groups in the north and central region. The south of the desert is very dry, with no dry riverbeds. The gemsbok is the only large mammal that can survive in this harsh climate. The southern part of the Namib Desert is one of the driest places on Earth and is largely unexplored. Number 7. Kamchatka Peninsula, Russia. Kamchatka is a place of wonder and beauty with stunning landscape. Kamchatka is a unique land with about 160 volcanoes, of which 30 are still active, 274 mineral springs, 160 of which are boiling hot, which makes it one of the world's unexplored places. Getting here takes time and effort, and exploring the region even more so. Some places have never seen a man's footprint. We can only fly over them by a helicopter. Kamchatka Peninsula is home to the highest number of brown bears in the world. The climate of the Kamchatka Peninsula is severe, with prolonged, cold, and snowy winters and wet, cool summers. This region was largely unsettled because it was closed off to Westerners until 1991. Number 8. Oceans. 71% of the Earth's surface is covered by ocean. The planet has only one ocean, though the world has divided them into 4 different regions: the Arctic, Atlantic Pacific, and Indian Ocean. More than 80% of the ocean has never been mapped, explored, or even seen by humans. It is unknown how many different species call the ocean their home. The Mariana Trench, located in western Pacific Ocean, is the deepest location on Earth, which again is yet to be explored. The ocean, at great depths, has extremely cold temperature, zero visibility, and intense pressure. The intense pressures in the deep ocean make it an extremely difficult environment to explore. The more water we have above us, the more it pushes against us. But water doesn't only push down from above. It pushes in from all sides, even from below, called buoyancy, which helps us to stay afloat. Given the high degree of difficulty and cost in exploring our ocean using underwater vehicles, no wonder much of the ocean is left unexplored. Number 9. North Sentinel Island, Bay of Bengal. On a scenic island in the Indian Ocean, there's a tribe of indigenous people with a population of around 50 to 200 in number. The Sentinelese are staunch protectors of their homeland. Previous attempts to contact the tribe was welcomed with showers of spears and arrows. India has banned people from visiting or attempting to make contact with the people who live there, because the tribe had no immunity against normal diseases. Going within 3 miles of the island is illegal. Little is known about the island where they live, largely because it is covered by dense forest. Number 10. Honokohau Falls, Maui, Hawaii, USA. A tall mountain with beautiful green landscape boasts of 1,119 feet plunging waterfall. To get a glimpse of this epic cascade, we'll have to catch a helicopter ride and fly over to the inaccessible valley in the West Maui Mountain, which makes it remain unexplored. Number 11. Antarctica. Antarctica is one of the world's most isolated, driest, and windiest place on Earth. 98% of Antarctica is covered in ice, and the lowest measured temperature is -89 degrees Celsius. The ice sheets are 2 miles thick, so nobody knows what is beneath those vast sheets of ice or how many living things may be down there. Antarctica is the only continent on Earth without a native human population. No country owns Antarctica. Instead, all activities are governed by the Antarctic Treaty of 1959. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to click on the bell button to get new video updates.